Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. If I could rip my boobs off I would. I hate my breasts for many reasons. They just an overall eyesore to look at. They're tuberous, very asymmetrical. Don't comment that asymmetrical boobs are common, I know that, saggy, and have terrible shape to them. They're probably like this due to the fact that my hormones were so fucked up during puberty. I don't like the size either, and even though people tell me they're a good size, I wish they were bigger. I see women with gorgeous nicely shaped breasts, big, medium, and small on social media, and I just wish it could be me. I wish I wasn't stuck with these disgusting sacks of fat I'm forced to call my boobs. Sometimes, I genuinely wish I could rip them off my chest sometimes and just be rid of them. I'd be flat-chested sure, but I'd never have to look at them again. If I could afford it, I would have gotten surgery to fix them, but I can't, so I either fantasize about tearing them off my chest or getting surgery done. Story 2. I think I'll be checking out. 24F. Just woke up from a nap when I smelled poop coming from my toddler. 2F. The worst part is that almost all of her body has covered in poop. I have to intensely take her bath in order to remove those poop. I also wake my partner, 28M, up to prepare for dinner. Upon realizing that the toddler had done, he was angry and berated me for reasons. I told him I was asleep after feeding the youngest daughter. 3 months, F. As he asked me more questions, I became agitated and started to raise my voice to defend myself. He was angry and I know it. He angrily criticized me and I started to spank him on his legs. As the result, he slapped me in my face, leading to bleeding nose and mouth. After that was a blur, telling him not to touch me and him being anxious and panic after I spit something coming from my nasal activity, it was a blood. After that, I somehow snapped, and although I love him, his actions had lessened my love for him. He is responsible, caring and a approachable person, and I love him for that. It made sense why when I daydream or zoned out, I always think about my future with kids, but without him. It is as if my subconscious self foreshadow what will happen to me in the long run. After I calmed down, I told him to prepare an ice for cold compress. He apologized to me profusely and I just answered to saved it for the last because probably he'll do it again in the future. He made some excuses like I may be overreacting or it is because of the kid, but I was just quiet about it all the time. He said sorry during dinner and before he goes to sleep. I just being quiet, and honestly, I just want to be alone. My face hurts and stings still even after the compress. I just want to vent it all here because I think no one listens to me. I have no companion to talk to. I can't even say it to my parent because my mother probably just dismissed it and blames me for my actions instead. My father died when I was 5 and my stepfather died during the pandemic. That would be all. Thank you for reading. P.S. Sorry for wrong grammar. English is not my first language. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 3. I never realized I was supposed to enjoy the whole experience of sex. Late in life lesbian, 32, always thought I was bi, only been in relationships with men. I've met someone and not only did I not feel the fear and dread about having sex that I always did with men, but I actually enjoyed the whole experience of sex for the first time in my life, not just the physical sensation of climaxing. I enjoyed the intimacy with her, touching her, not even sexually touching her, being close to her. I've slept with a lot of men. Either for validation, one-night stands, or because it was expected. In relationship it always felt like a chore. This was nothing like those experiences. It was the most authentic sex I've ever had. Story 4. 15M, just can't stand talking to a vast majority of my peers. Every interaction feels so fake. I can't just relax and try to have a fun with a friend without them taking pictures of me without even asking and posting it to their Snapchat with some dumb caption. I'm a pacifist, stoic and docile by nature. I don't like hurting other people's feelings, so when someone takes a picture of me, the most they'll get is a somewhat disparaging frown. They never get the memo. Excuse me for my language, but everybody aged between 13 to 16 is such an attention whore. After every minute, little interaction over text, they have to screenshot it and post it to their Snapchat because they feel like everybody should care and the universe revolves around them. The hell is wrong with these people? They feel like fucking robots. It's rinse and repeat. I talk to someone, they screenshot, and post. I talk to someone, they screenshot, and post. Every fucking time. In every goddamn conversation, they just have to bring up something like, "Hey, did you see what Susan posted on her story?" And I just have to awkwardly nod to move on to another subject. If I really didn't give a damn about being modest, I'd say no, and I really don't care. I'm here to talk about me and you, between me and you. Are my feelings shared by you guys? Are they understandable? Story 5. I want to die when I reach my 40s. Excuse my spelling and grammar mistakes since English is not my first languages. I, 34F, have been thinking about ending my life since I was in my teenage years. I don't really have a reason to end my life. At first, it was just a thing that I would joke about. Like, I don't want to endure the pain of growing old, I don't want to be a burden on anyone. But as I grew older, it became more realistic and just made sense, you know. I don't have anything to complain about in my life. I'm now living with my parents, same as most of the Asian families that I know. My family is not mega rich, but we are somewhat comfortable. My parents both have lands and houses, which will help them live the rest of their lives without worrying about money. This also makes them never depend on me to contribute anything. I do have an older sister, 37F, and an older brother, 35M. They are still living their lives, both are not married and also living at home. I have a GF, 32F, for 4 years. She is the most loving and healthiest relationship that I have been in. She encouraged me to live my life to the fullest, we enjoyed the littlest things and celebrated the smallest victories in our lives together. I love her so much. Both our families know about our relationship and are very supportive, which is rare in Asian countries. I have a stable job, with a decent salary and almost no stress at all. I also work from home, so I spend most of my time with my mom, talking and bonding. I don't see the point of living for too long, endure pains and suffering just to eventually you will end up the same. The only thing that is bothering me right now is that if I really die at 40, my GF would be 38 by then. Would it be too late for her to find a new relationship? I was contemplating breaking things off with her right now just to spare her the pain and give her a chance to find someone less screwed up in the head. And there are also my parents, they are already in their 60s and 70s, but in perfectly good health. However, I don't think they can face the fact that one of their child would pass before they do. I did jokingly talk about the fact that I want to die young to both my parents and my GF. They didn't take it very well, even though it was masked as a joke. So, I don't really have a reason to take my own life. But it's still there, at the back of my mind. I even thought about buying life insurance, so that after a couple of years, when I meet my end, my GF will be taken care of and have something for herself. I recorded a video monthly on my phone, just to let people know what to do with me and my savings when I die. Yeah, that sums up what I really want to share with strangers on the internet. LOL. Just wanna get it off my chest and see how it feels. For the time being. Good night to you, whoever read this thread. Story 6. I wasted my first kiss. So up until a few days ago, I'd never been out with a guy. My friends had all had amazing experiences, but I was waiting to find my Mr. Right. Obviously, that's a very far-fetched dream, but at the very least, I hoped my firsts would go to a special guy or at least to a relationship that would last. Anyhow, I recently met this guy who I really hit it off with. After talking for about a week, he asked me out. We were supposed to meet for lunch, but the date lasted far longer than expected, about 7 hours. I thought things were going really well. He complimented me a lot, held me, stroked my hair, and about halfway through asked to kiss me. At the time, it all felt so right, so I agreed. He even made plans to meet me again. Then about an hour after he left, I got a message from him saying that while he enjoyed spending time with me, he realized through the date that he wasn't ready to start a relationship because he's too busy and as such doesn't want to lead me on. He ended by saying he hoped that we can still be friends and knows that I'll find the right guy someday. That's all right, I can understand that. It's just that I thought everything was going so well, and this makes me re-evaluate everything we did through the date. On top of that, I built my first kiss up so highly in my head, that now I feel terrible and kind of regret it. Objectively, it was a good kiss, it's just that, I feel as though I wasted it. All my friends have amazing stories to tell, and I feel after waiting 20 years, mine has just been a letdown. To some extent, I realize that what I'm feeling is ridiculous and childish, but at the same time, I can't help feel any other way. I feel kind of humiliated and envious of all these people I know who have magical stories to tell. I don't even think I want to meet this guy ever again or pursue a friendship with him because I just feel really bad. I know it isn't his fault for how I feel, but now my first kiss is just an absolute letdown. Maybe it's because I always had this image of what it would be and it isn't that. I don't really know how to change my perception of this and not blame myself for screwing it up. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 7. Ocean Gate. I'm glad that they died due to an implosion. It was a quick and painless death. I'm extremely sympathetic and it makes me sad and it'll haunt me for a few days. Yes, they were rich but these jokes were never funny to me. They're cringe and in poor taste. All I could think about were their grieving families. Twitter is truly a hellhole. Filled with people who'd sell their own mother for $100. Story 8. I don't want to be a lesbian. Long story short, my family is one of these. We don't care if other people are gay, as long as it's not our kid. The first time my family found out about LGBT teens, my father was like, "Thank God you're not one of them." Since then, I've been hearing a ton of fucked up things. When they started suspecting, they, mostly my father, my mom would play along, would yell for hours till both sides got too tired. I'm also tomboyish, which would be another reason why I get this stuff in the first place. I found out I liked girls at 17, had signs as early as 5, thought I was bi till last year. I'm in my mid-20s. Being gay and falling in love with a girl were my worst fears. They happened nonetheless. However, after years of fighting, I'm tired. I want to stop being gay. I want to stop liking women and start liking men. I've been checking out videos of self-proclaimed ex-gay people, and while I know it's not really a thing, I wish I could follow suit. I'm starting to believe that my family is right. They never argued with me unless the situation called for it. They're even fine with me still searching for a job. But homosexuality has had them get so angry that they'd tell at me for hours as if I killed someone or got expelled. I do not have the energy to argue and I don't know what I'll do if it happens again. I get flashbacks to past arguments and it's taking a toll on my mental health. I know that trying to repress my attraction to women will make it worse, but I feel too guilty and exhausted. I don't know what to do. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.